Greetings students, beta class 8. We have started chapter 3 of civics, that is why do we need a parliament. So yesterday we have started the chapter, the introduction of the chapter have been discussed. Now let's move further. People and their representatives. This we have discussed that the people they cast their vote and elect their representatives. So democracy it works on the consent or approval of the people, and it is the people who take the decision, final decision, or uh, who take part in the decision making process. They are the people who create a democratic government, and they decide, or they also affect the functioning of the government. Then we discussed about this one also. Okay, so let's start from here. How does the individual give approval to the government? One way of doing, as you read, through elections, people would elect their representatives to the parliament. Then one group from among these elected representatives forms the government. The parliament, which is made up of all representatives together, controls and guides the government. In this sense, people, through their elected, chosen representatives, form the government and also control it. So we know that the party, after elections, the party that gets majority of votes forms the government, and all others, the parties and the individual candidates, they play the role of opposition, and they also control the parliament or the government. So in this way, people, through their elected representatives, controls the government, forms the government, and controls the government. Next, the above idea of representation, the above idea of representation has an important theme in your class 6 and 7 social and political life textbook. You are familiar with how representatives are chosen at different levels of government. Let us recall these ideas by doing the following example or exercise. So all this, it is about the how representatives are chosen and how they form and run the government. About all this we have discussed in class 6 and 7. So these we will do later on. So next part, let's move. Yes, this is the role of parliament. Created after 1947, the Indian parliament is an expression of the faith that the people of India have in principles of democracy. These are participation by people in the decision making process and government by consent. So these are the two principles. First is decision making, people's participation in decision making process, and the second is a government by consent. What does it mean? That the government is chosen, government is elected by the people, that is government by consent. The parliament in our system has immense power because it is the representative of the people. So parliament is the most powerful tool system. Why? Because it is the representative, or it represents the people, so that's why it is the most powerful system. Elections to the parliament are held in a similar manner as they are for the state legislature. So about state legislature we have read in class 7. The Lok Sabha is usually elected once after uh, once every 5 years. So Lok Sabha elections are held after 5 years regularly. The country is divided into numerous constituencies as shown in the map on page number 41. Each of these constituencies elects one person to the parliament. So we have 545 seats in Lok Sabha. Out of these, 543 are elected and 2 are nominated. So 500, the country at the time of parliament elections is divided into 543 constituencies, and from each constituency one member is elected. Next is the candidates who contest elections usually belong to different political parties. So maximum of the members who contest elections, they belong to different political parties. These are some of the tables related to some elections, but let's move further. Then we have once elected, these candidates become members of parliament or MPs. So what are MPs? Member of parliament. So once these members of parliament are elected, they become the members of parliament or MPs, these candidates. These MPs together make up the parliament. Once elections to the parliament have taken place, the parliament needs to perform the following functions. Now, let's see the functions of the parliament. So, first is to select the national government. Parliament of India consists of the President, the Rajya Sabha, and Lok Sabha. Please underline this. This is very important line. What does Indian Parliament consist of? This is Parliament of India consists of the President, the Rajya Sabha, and the Lok Sabha. Done it? After the Lok Sabha elections, a list is prepared showing how many MPs belong to each political party. For a political party to form the government, they must have a majority of elected MPs. Since there are 543 elected plus 2 Anglo-Indian nominated members in Lok Sabha, no, to have a majority, a political party should have at least half the number, that is 272 members or more. The opposition in parliament is formed by all the political parties that oppose the majority party, or the coalition formed. The largest amongst these parties called the opposition party. Hanji. So in this para we discussed that there are 543 elected representatives to the Lok Sabha. So out of these 543, if a political party wants to form its government, then it needs half of the seats, that is 272, and the party that gets 272 or more votes gets a majority and forms the government, and all other parties, they form opposition. And amongst all those, the second largest party, means the party which second maximum seats plays is called the opposition party. Otherwise all other parties and independent candidates, they play the role of opposition. I think this is understood to everyone. But if you have any question, any query, you can discuss with me in the class tomorrow. Have a great day.